Hello, 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 guys. Good, good morning. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing today?
Hi, teacher. How's your day?
Hello, good. It's been such a good day. Just a regular day, a good one. Nothing too special.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, my dear Freddy. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Great. Back to work, or are you still on vacation?
No, I'm back to work.
Oh,
Actually, on Friday, I have the meeting with the parents
mm-hmm. This
about
coming
the final
Friday.
grades of this Friday.
This coming Friday. Okay.
So
Oh,
it's gonna be pretty intense.
fun.
Yeah,
Amazing. Oh, that's, I mean, okay. But okay, at least you had some days off and then you could rest,
yeah,
do like fun stuff. But okay, back to real life, back to reality. Alrighty, very good. So my people, welcome everyone. Today is Tuesday, July the 11th, and today we are having our fourth class. I'm going to share the agenda for today. We're going to talk about millennials in the workplace, and then millennials and stereotypes. We're gonna have a discussion on this. We're going to watch some videos and we're going to do a group practice and we're going to finish with a reading task that is going to still be a group practice, okay? So that is going to be our class for today. We are going to start with one activity, that is this one, that is millennials at the workplace. You are going to drag and drop some words here. So we have two, right? We have 1 out of 2 and then 2 out of 2. So we have opportunities, retention rates, to lack loyalty, workforce, threats, surveys, turnover rates, contribute to, appreciated, committed to, sacrifices to give up, excessive. So I want you guys to work individually on this task while we wait for the other students to come to join our session, and then we can start with the rest of the activities, okay? So you are going to try to do it individually, and then we wait for the rest. Is the activity clear, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Alrighty, very good. So please start, and at 6:15 I'm going to start with the roll call. So please start working on this first task. Thank you. Guys, just to clarify these words, so retention rates makes a reference to the percentage of employees who remain in the workplace over a specific time. And then turnover rates, that's the opposite. That will be the rate of people who or employees who have left a company over a certain period of time. Okay. So in case you were wondering about those two words. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do the roll call. Acevedo Coasaray,
Present.
great. Albarracín Caballero Cristian. Christian. Let me see. Christian is not in the session yet. Ayala Gloria Joeli. Okay, Joeli, good. Vaca Jaina Andrea.
Present, teacher.
Great. Carrera Bonilla John Hammer. John. John Hammer. I see that you are in the session. Okay. Cordero Castellanos Brian. Brian, Cordero Castellanos Brian. Same thing. I see you're in the session, but
Teacher, I'm here.
okay, good. Do we have Fonseca Garcia Freddy? Of course we do.
Yeah, yes.
Lozada Diaz Diana. Oh, she's joining right now. Okay. So she's here. Muñoz Salazar Andrea.
I'm here, teacher.
Great. Hold on, Freddy, Diana, Andrea Muñoz. Great.
Present, teacher.
Yes, I noticed you. Pérez Ardila Natalie.
I'm here, teacher.
Good. Pinzón Linares Mayra.
Present, teacher.
Great, Mayra. Rodríguez Llorente Harold.
Hi, teacher.
Hello. Sandoval Miranda Angélica.
Present, teacher.
Great. Sierra Jaimes Daniela. Daniela is not in the session yet. Velasco Uribe Ana María.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Vera Peña Jennifer.
I'm here, teacher.
Great. Awesome. Alrighty. Very, very, very good. Okie dokie. Okay, guys, finished? Did you finish with the activity about millennials? Done. Very good. Freddy, what about the rest? Did you finish?
Yes, teacher, finish.
Yes. Okay, very good, Harold. Okay, I'm going to wait 2 more minutes in case you are still working on the task. And then we're going to start with the rest of the activities. Okay, remember that our topic today is going to be about millennials at the workplace. Okay, good. So 2 more minutes to finish the task in case you guys haven't finished it. I'm going to share it for the ones that just joined the session so that you have it. You can do it, I mean, work on it later on if you want to. And then in 2 minutes, we'll continue. Alrighty, people. So let's continue. I have created this worksheet for you. Oh, hold on. Oh, here. Here. So it's similar to the one that I created. I think it was last night or 2 classes ago. I can't remember right now. I think it was last class. So it's gonna be here at the students folder. You have to create a copy, okay, for it because this is, I mean, this is the one that I created. So you should not write on this one. You have to create a copy, so that everyone can have one copy. Okay. So I'm going to share the link of the students folder again. Here. Alrighty. So we're going to class number 4. On class number 4, we are going to find the activity, okay, about millennials at the workplace. So please create a copy of it and write your name on it so that no one writes on your worksheet. So we're going to start with the discussion. And the first question is, do you think that people from different generations share important characteristics? If so, which one? So let's discuss the first question. So first of all, let's reshape the question. Let's start with the second question and then we go with the first one. So the second question says, what identifiable generations do you know? So different from millennials, what other generations do you know? Or have you heard about? No?
Like C generations.
Okay, Z, okay.
Generation.
Which one, Angelica?
J, teacher.
Y, J?
Oh, sorry, yes, why?
Y, okay,
Crystal
okay.
GC, I don't
generation.
know.
What do you say? Hold on, Harold, what do you say?
Crystal generation.
Crystal generation. Okay, and then which one do you say, Frey?
GC, something like that, generation.
DC?
No, generation Z.
Oh, Z. Okay, okay. So I have this that I was, searching on the internet, and I found several. Natalie, what do you mean? I called you, and you answered when I was doing the roll call. It's okay. It's okay. I know you're here.
Teacher, I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then you just wrote on the chat. Was it you? Or maybe the message was sent later.
Yes, teacher, that was later because I
Oh,
lost the
okay.
connection here at the work. Sorry.
Okay. Don't worry. Yes, I was like, well, why, Natalie? I heard you. I know
Yes,
you're.
teacher. At this moment, I'm going to place the down to the chat because right
Uh-huh.
now I need to come back to the work, so I
Oh,
can hear
okay.
you, but I cannot talk. Okay, teacher.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me know. Okay. Okay, guys. So here, this is from the BBC, right? It says millennials, baby boomers, or Gen Z. Which one are you, and what does it mean? So we have the first one that they talk about is the silent generation. So it says this is the first defined generational group. It refers to those born between 1926 and 1945. So these are people who lived through the World War II. The name comes from an article in Time magazine from the 1950s and alludes to the fact that the children of this generation were taught to be seen and not heard. According to Dr. Aronson, this group are disciplined, value-oriented, and loyal. Interested in direct communication, so enjoy speaking in person as opposed to via technology. Okay, so that'll be the silent generation. Maybe like our grandparents' generation, or maybe parents. I mean, if they were born between 1926 and 1945. But I would say, or I would assume that maybe, or for most of us, it's like grandparents, right? Here, this one is interesting. It says millennials are often attributed with an obsession with avocados. Do you think this is true or not?
I love avocado.
Maybe.
I love avocados too, so maybe. So I could say that, yeah, maybe that's true. Then we have baby boomers. Baby boomers, this is the only generation that has been defined by an official government body, the U.S. Census Bureau, which is part of the country Department of Commerce and is responsible for collecting data from across the U.S. They're so named because of a huge surge of births after World War II. The group starts in 1846 and ends with those born around 1964, when the birth rate began to decline again. Dr. Abramson says boomers or baby boomers are committed, self-sufficient, competitive. She thinks this might have something to do with how many of them there were, because this will be the generation from maybe like our parents or our uncles and aunts. So if we think about back in, give me 1 second, sorry. Okay, sorry. So if we think about how numerous families were in the past, for example, with my dad's side, I have like 10 uncles and aunts. So families used to be bigger than what they are now. Now families are, or maybe marriages decide not to have children, or they have one or two maximum. There are marriages that still have like more than 3 kids or more, but that is not very common nowadays. And there are marriages who decide not to have kids, and that's perfectly fine. So if we think about how it was in the past, in the generation from our parents and uncles and aunts, families used to be bigger, right? So maybe this generation, they're competitive because or she thinks that these might have something to do with how many of them there were and at that time. Also we have Generation X. This one says the Resolution Foundation's think tank defines Gen X as those born between 1966 and 1980s. They grew up in a time when technology was advancing fast, but it wasn't nearly as readily available as it is today. Because of this generation straddles both the digital and non-digital world and understands the importance of both. Dr. Habranson says that these people are resourceful, logical, and good problem solvers. So maybe still our grandparents, our parents, era, maybe my mom will be from this generation because she was born in 1972. And then my dad, he was born in 1963, I think. So they're different, right? A little bit, like 9 years in between them. So maybe this will be the generation of our parents. Then we have the millennials or Generation Y that some of you mentioned. It's also known as millennials. This is the cohort you have probably heard the most about. It's not entirely certain where the generation starts and ends, but it's approximately those born from 1980 to 1995. But again, it's not entirely certain, okay? They're often described as lazy in the media and that they spent all the money they should be saving for a house on avocado toast. But they are also the first generation to be digital natives, as Dr. Habranson describes them. She thinks this makes them extremely self-sufficient as they no longer have to rely on others to solve their problems or teach them things. They have the internet for that. Other defining characteristics would be confident, curious, questioning authority. Dr. Aronson thinks that this can be perceived quite badly by some of the older generations who will be less likely to do so. Okay, for example, this generation, the baby boomers, or the silent generation, or maybe the generation X. Okay. And then, well, what else? What else do we have? Generation X. There are a few conflicting ideas where this generation starts. Pew Statistics says 1997. Statistics Canada says 1993. So in between those years, and the Resolution Foundation says 2000. So where it really begins, though, we can safely say that this group is young and has never known a life without technology. Okay, this might be why their alternative name coined by American psychologists is iGen. Some of their characteristics include ambitious, digital native, confident. Okay, so these are some of the generations that are known nowadays. Those are the generation Z, millennials, generation Y, generation X, baby boomers, and the silent generation. Now, let's go back here. Let's go back to to this part. Do you think that people from different generations share important characteristics, or do you think that they're different or completely different? What do you think?
I think that maybe are different. Because like the article said, people that born when in the technology age, maybe things very different about people that born in
That they were born,
uh,
yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
For example, my parents or when my parents were children is very different that when I
Yeah,
was a children
yeah.
a
And
child.
mhm,
So I think that is very different.
it's very different, and it's also very different the way in which um kids are being raised. Don't you think? Like, for example, if you have baby nieces or nephews, or I mean, not necessarily babies, but small children, we can see that parents or our grandparents, they tend to say, oh, why don't you try this? My grandma or my mom back in that time, at that time, we used to do that, and now they're like, oh my goodness, like, no way, pediatricians do not recommend that. Now it's very different from the way it was in the past. So there is a lot of conflict between the way between people raise their children, but it's because everything is changing. I mean, everything is so different now that and they can be surprised by the outcome of certain things. For example, things that we do nowadays, that we are young, right? All of us are young, and it's very different to the way our parents grew up, right? It's very, very, very different from that time. So yes, we share important but different characteristics. Or not, we don't share, we have different characteristics that define one generation from the other. So now, guys, which generation do you belong to? Because here maybe we have like students that are 18, 19, 20, but we also have students that maybe are 30 or in their 30s. What generation do you belong to according to this? Generation Z?
For me, C, teacher.
For me,
Why?
why?
For you, why? Okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm confused here because um this
There is a year with no generation.
yeah, I was born in 1996, right? So this one says from 1980 to 1995. But again, this one says that it's not entirely certain. Still from 1980 to 1995. And this one says from 1997. So it's like, okay, I am born in 1996. So what?
Teacher, you can decide that you want.
I can be who I want to be. So no, yeah, I mean,
Like a Barbie girl.
exactly. So I can be from 1990, but here it says from 1997. On other says 1993, but then the Resolution Foundation says 2000. So if it is starting from 2000, of course I'm not this. I'm not from this generation. So I don't know, like I am in between. I don't have a specific generation, but I mean maybe millennial, maybe this one. I don't know. I'm like in between those two. Yeah, right. We're lost. We don't know where we belong to. Okay. um so are there any real differences in how people from different generations approach work? Now, if we talk about work, what do you think? Are there any real differences in how people from different generations, for example, our grandparents, our parents, our uncles and aunts, and maybe the way you do now in terms of work?
I mean, yes, it still depends on the generation. I mean, about the old generations, they still struggle to cope with technology. So they have like other ways to work. And you know, the new generations, they have adapted to technology easily. So for
Yeah.
for us, it's been like it says about the generation Y,
Mm-hmm.
like we are like native in
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
We've been
Mm-hmm.
born with technology.
With
But
technology,
for
right?
other generation is different. Like they don't like to have everything digitally. Like they
Uh,
use a notebook and they like to
uh-huh.
write down and take notes. So
Yeah.
for some people it's different.
Is different. I now that you talk about that, I remember or I remembered once I watched a video in which they ask one guy that he's probably like 20, and then they ask a little girl that she's about 6 or so. And then they ask the guy who's 20, they say, okay, imagine that how do you take a photo? And then he does something like this, you know, how do you take a photo? And then he does this. How do you answer the phone? And then he does this with the hand, like this.
Yeah.
Do you know the video I'm referring to?
Yes,
Yeah,
teacher,
there's
I
a
saw it.
video that
Yes.
Yeah.
it was
And then
about it.
they ask the same question to a little girl, like, okay, how do you take a picture? So the girl does something like this, using like her hands to show like a maybe like a selfie or something, you know. And then how do you make a phone call? And she does this. So it's like how different generations have been, you know, developing or living in the society with technology. So yeah, for sure we are part of this generation that may be millennials, and but technology has been growing so fast that yes, we were born in a technology era, but it's not, or it wasn't as advanced as it is today. So for some people, even for millennials, maybe they still struggle with technology. I am one. I mean, I struggle with technology even though I am young. I am 27. I can be like a millennial according to the article that we just read, but still like I struggle with technology, not as my parents, not like my maybe like my dad. My mom is more like advanced in that sense. But my dad, he struggles a lot, and my grandma, she has no idea about technology. She doesn't like technology at all. She still uses this old phone, zero technological, and old TV because she doesn't know how to turn on a smart TV. She doesn't know how to use a smartphone. So for sure, it's been very different in our
For
generation.
baby boomers, that's difficult.
For
Yeah.
baby boom, yes, that's very difficult for them
They
because
still struggle to cope with technology and
with
this
technology,
generation
yeah,
where everything is on
yeah,
device.
mm-hmm.
So it is.
It's
But for the next generations, like my mom is, she's from from the X generation.
From the X? Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, she has learned to use
Yeah.
a cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
like sending messages, listening to music.
Yeah.
I mean, she's adapting well, but she doesn't know to use a computer. So
Oh,
it's difficult for
okay.
her
It's
still.
difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah,
When I go to visit my grandma, she lives in an apartment and then she doesn't have like Wi-Fi or anything. So I'm like, I for a second I think about it and I think and I say it's so interesting how she can live without technology because she has like nothing, like zero technology in her house. And then like how and then I think about it, how would my life be different if I didn't have any technology or if I lived in the way that she does? Like no technology, no smartphone, no smart TV, like everything is so different. But I mean, I guess that's what she's used to because she has never had I mean, she has never, learned how to deal with technology and she's fine with that. So for sure, and my grandma, she's not that old. My grandma is like 65, I guess. I think she's like 65, my grandma. She's young. I mean, she's
she's
not,
young, yeah.
yeah. She's like 65, I guess, or 64, something around it. But she never learned how to cope with technology, and I mean, she will never learn that because she doesn't care about it. But it's so different. I mean, it's so interesting to see how generations are so different. And then in the workplace, what about the workplace? What else can you say about the workplace? The way our grandparents used to work, and then our parents, and now us. What do you think, guys?
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think that since the workplace, maybe in like classrooms, in some point in the 90s, I'm sorry, in some point in the 80s, they start to use it. Tisa, how do you say that?
The what?
Tisas.
Chalk.
Chalk.
Mhm.
And after some point, they say, no, there are too unhealthy. Let's move to markers in some point in the
Mhm.
90s. And once again, they say the same in the 20s. There are so unhealthy. Go back with the chalk.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
right now, there isn't right now markers. I
Yeah.
think one teacher in certain places, but more ideal places, they have to use now microphone in classes
Oh yeah.
because it's proof that professors after a certain point of they being working, they develop like problems
Don't tell me
with their
that.
throat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean like professors that have been teaching for I don't know 40, 50 years normally develop problems
yeah.
because obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
in
for
certain
sure.
places right now is a lot that you have to be in your classroom sound equipment for talking to the students,
Mhm.
even if a close class.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Very good, guys. Excellent. Thank you very much, Christian.
At
For
the workplace, did you
yeah.
say?
Yeah, at the workplace.
I mean, for example, I had one boss. She's from the X generation, and she was very good at work, but with everything related with a computer, she was always asking for help. Like,
How can you
can you
do
download
this?
this
Uh-huh.
this file? How can you send this
How can I
message? She was
attach
always
this?
asking for help. Yeah,
Yeah,
how can you attach this
attach
file
a
in the
document.
email?
Uh-huh.
Or she was always like asking me for favors, and she said, "You're very good with technology." I don't like it. I'm not able. She was always like writing down and taking notes in a
Uh-huh.
notebook, and that's
Mm.
the way
Because
she make it
that's
work for
that's
her.
the way that she learned, right?
That's
That's
the way she learned.
that's
Yeah.
the way she learned. So no computers. Maybe they used to do it, or they used to, I mean, do it differently. And now when computers are part of our daily lives and are an important, very important object in the workplace, that kind of
Yes.
struggle a lot with that.
Because
Actually, when the pandemic came, I
Yeah.
had some colleagues that they had problems with that
Hmm.
because we have to start learning new tools
Even like,
like Microsoft Teams
yeah.
to teach. and they were lost and they
Yeah.
didn't know how to use the software. And they were always asking me for help, and I was tutoring. So
Yeah,
it's interesting.
it's very interesting. Like as I said, I am young because I'm only 27. But still, I am not a very technological advanced person, like because I cannot deal with like things like that. I'm not like a good person. I mean, I can make things work. I always figure things out, but it takes me or it takes some time for me to understand certain things, or maybe like how to manage this software, and then how to use this app, and how to, I mean, it takes, I mean, for me it takes some time. And I see kids because I teach children, and they are
Yes.
so like advanced technologically speaking, and they're like, "Oh, teacher, you only have to do this and that," and it's so easy for them. I cannot deal with that. It's so easy for them.
Yep, but because right now, I mean, all that aspect in computers are more like childish. Because before, I mean, before for your computer be working, you need to have various like boards of memory, and they have
Okay.
to be put it in the machine in a specific order, just to function, not to play any program, just to function.
Mm-hmm.
And if you miss one or put one in a misplace, they will never be power on anything. And
Mm-hmm.
if for some reason, say that maybe you put in an X and someone moved the order and you
Yeah.
didn't notice, you have to spend the rest of the day with any combination you can try
Fixing.
just
Yeah.
to get it on.
Yeah. I agree.
Not
I
use
agree.
it just to get it on, and then, I mean, start to pray that anything is bad after
Everything
we're
works
on that
out after
computer.
that. Yeah. I agree. Okay, very good. So we're going to watch the following video, guys, and we're going to answer these three questions. The first one is, what stereotypes of millennials are used in this video? How true do you think they are, and how do you think millennials correspond to these accusations? Okay, so let's watch the video. I'm going to stop the recording.
Usted está buscando una residencia.
I hate this. Hold on. I'm going to stop the recording while I play the video. What do you think? Look at the last sentence. It says they're like pets that do work sometimes. So do you think that this is a helpful guide for us, for millennials? Or do you agree or disagree about these stereotypes? Do you think they're true?
I know people that are literally like some of those examples.
That they're exactly like those examples, right? Okay, I am going to give you guys a couple of minutes for you to write your answers here, and then I'm going to ask you the questions to see if you are like ready and with a more with a more clear idea, okay? So please start writing your answers here, these three answers, and then to these three questions, and then we start, okay? Is the activity clear?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Okay, please start. Thank you.
Teacher?
So we have here Andrea, Angelica, Ana Maria. This is, who is this? No one is working on this one. Is anybody working on this? Oh, this is Andrea Vaca. Okay. Christian, Diana, Freddy, Harold, Jennifer, Joely, Sarai. We're missing Brian. We're missing John's activity. Brian, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, where is your activity?
I am going to Google Drive folder,
Mm-hmm.
but I need my PC.
You need
Then I'm going to to go to this link in my PC.
okay. Okay. Yeah, because I need you to participate in the task. Okay. Good. Guys, did you finish with the answers? Did you answer these questions?
No, teacher. It's
Not yet.
only number 2.
Yeah. Exercise number 2, the 3 questions. What stereotypes of millennials are used in the video? How true do you think they are? And how do you think millennials could respond to those or to these accusations? Okay, those 3 answers. Ready, people?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let's see what you guys answered. What stereotypes of millennials are used in the video? What do you answer?
Teacher, the millennials have to be, or the bosses have to flavor them for everything they do. Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh. Very good.
In my opinion, I guess that the video showed that the millennials are kind of, sorry for my voice,
It's okay.
ignorant and lazy.
Okay.
And they showed too that millennials will rather be relaxed
Uh-huh.
instead of working hardly.
And then we can see that according to, remember guys that this is
A
a
comedy,
comedy,
yes.
right?
Yes, yes, yes.
It's
Doesn't matter.
according to this video, it says that yes, that we are lazy and we complain about everything. Everything. You see, do you remember the part that this lady was asked to meet or to have like a phone call at 9:30, and then she was like, "What, 9:30?" Um, and then yeah, she's like, "Why? Why do I have to do it at such early time of the day?"
They were mourning all the time.
Yeah, yes, they were. They were moaning all the time. And then they were also talking about the vacation days and sick leaves. And then they say like, okay, I'm gonna get a sick leave, and then that'll be like easier because maybe what they say is that we are used to do that. So those are some of the stereotypes of millennials that are used in the videos. How true do you think they are, guys? Honestly, even though we are part of this generation, but how true do you think they are? Partly true, completely true, or not
I
true
mean,
at
teacher,
all?
I consider that these kind of stereotypes are about to change because I don't know if you agree with me, but a lot of people, a lot of young people want to have a better opportunity, or they want to live abroad or something like that. And for that reason, they know or they are conscious that they have to work hard in order to get what they want to have.
Okay.
But for that reason, I guess that is something that is changing, but it is that could be considered that's a truth.
Okay, okay. No, yes, I agree. I totally agree with what you say, Harold. Yes, very good. Thank you very much. Anybody else? How true do you think these
I
accusations or
mean,
stereotypes are?
that part of the end of the video that some have like depressions. So it's true, for some reason, millennials and younger generation are more tend to feel or suffer of depression for some reason. Some of them because it's real depression, some of them is they are told by so much time that depression is something normal, is something that you should feel proud to have it. Then literally right now all the people think that anything is depression.
Is yes, yes, I agree.
Yeah, because so many years somebody told being depressed is normal, being depressed is handsome, being depressed is so it's cute, is everything good that a lot of people right now is suffering because of that,
Yeah.
because they know how to handle anything.
Yes, yes, I agree. Like I feel it nowadays, or maybe in the past, it was not, people wouldn't talk about it. People wouldn't talk about like their feelings, and nowadays it's more common to do that. And then some people think that because we show the way we feel, we are weak or we're not strong people. And maybe, I mean, there's some people that we think like, but how can you, I mean, that's not like big deal, but maybe it's not a big deal to us, but for some others it is a big deal. But our grandparents, they used to say, or they used to think, or maybe our grandparents and parents, they tried not to talk about their feelings, and they would avoid talking or having this kind of conversation. But for now, for us, we do it more freely, right? And then somehow they think that when people like express that they have mental illnesses and that they think or they say, oh, but that happens only now because in the past it used to be different. No, I don't think that it was different in the past. I think that in the past no one would have the guts to talk about mental illnesses, and they were like afraid of people or society rejecting them. So that's what I think. It's not that now we are not that strong. I think that it's different because now we show that there is a problematic and that maybe we suffer from a lot of pressure that maybe in the past our parents or grandparents didn't want to talk about. So they said that on the video, that nowadays like people suffer a lot from mental illnesses, which is sometimes I think it's kind of true, but sometimes I also think that it's something that is going on and that people have the guts to talk about how they feel, and somehow that makes them feel better. So good.
Teacher,
Yeah.
and I think that showing yourself or expressing your feeling is not a sign of weaknesses, it's a sign of strength. Why?
Yeah.
Because you are showing yourself as a vulnerable person,
Yeah.
and that's really strong from us to be able to
Be able
express
to
our feelings.
express. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's not that we are not strong or that we are weak. I mean, and maybe our parents and grandparents think that our generation, it's the crystal generation that we,
Yeah.
I mean, we cannot, or we get upset about everything. And I don't think it's that. I mean, I don't like to generalize and say that it always happens like that and it's always like that. No, I think that nowadays people have the guts, as I said, to talk about their feelings, and that doesn't make us weaker or yeah, no, it's not a sign of weakness, or it's not like at all.
Teacher, and I'd like to add something else. Well, I dare to say that this generation is really brave, since most of the people or young people that I know have decided to go to another countries to leave their hometown. So that's something that I really admire of them, because they have the strength to say, well, I'm going to leave home and I'm going to go to abroad or to another country to start a new style life, and that is something really brave. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like to change our lives and to say like, okay, I want my life to be different from maybe the life that my parents or grandparents had. So yeah, I think that's brave, and this is something that has been or has become more common in our generations than in the past. I mean, we don't say that in the past was not or didn't happen, but it's more common nowadays for sure. Okay, very good, guys. So let's go with the last question here. How do you think millennials could respond to this accusation? I mean, it's kind of like similar to the discussion that we're just having, or the things that we're just talking about. Does anybody else have a different opinion, or just an extra opinion?
yes, teacher.
Go ahead, Natalie.
For the last one, I think that the millennials maybe could respond this with proof, sorry, that this weakness, like the internet dependency, may run in positive for company, because will be update the process, for example, or the creativity that for excuse. It's not only for that. For example, you can create different things, so maybe improve something like the employee can can make it.
Okay, yes, Angelica. Very good. Nice. Very good. Thank you very much for your comments. People, we are going to watch the second and last video. This one is longer, a little bit longer, okay? So you are going to look at the following terms used by Simon Sinek in the interview and discuss what they refer to. So I want you to take notes of this, because we cannot listen to it twice, because this video is longer. This video lasts like 15 minutes or so, so we cannot watch it twice. So I want you to pay closely attention to this interview, and then take into account this instant gratification, analyze or identify where they talk about it, and then write something down about this. Deep meaning relationships, sense of impatience, job satisfaction, buying, watching, corporate environments, and no phones in the meeting room. Okay, so you are going to write or make notes of what you understand from this, and then we're going to watch the second video, and yeah, and then after we watch this, we're going on our break, okay? Because it's 7:18. Of course, I'm going to give you the time, the whole time or the full time that I always give you for the break. So please pay closely attention to this. I'm going to start. Alrighty, guys. Hello. We are back from our break. So for the second part of the class, you are going to discuss, we're going to discuss it. And then you in groups are going to work on exercise number 4, that is discuss the following questions. I want you to discuss these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Then you are going to also discuss the following one that says, how do you think millennials will change corporations when they start holding managerial positions? Will this be a positive or negative phenomenon? Read the article below and compare your answers to the author's opinion. We're going to ignore the gaps for now, okay? So because on exercise number 6, or when you take a look at this text, there are some gaps that are here in different colors. This one, for example, here, and then I'm going to show you here, the red dots, sorry. Here you have to replace, or you have to write one of the words from the, hold on, give me 1 second. Alrighty. So I want you guys to, when you do exercise number 5, I want you to read ignoring the gaps, because this is going to give you a broad or a general perspective of this topic. And then in exercise number 6, you do have to complete the gaps in the text with one of these words. We have arrangements, gone, breed, indicators, buzzword, reviews, challenge, rigid, extent, and sick. And then you guys are going to do this in groups, okay? So we have several topics. We have, for example, here, this is a different way to measure productivity. This is about work-life plan instead of work-life balance. Relationships have new priority, empowering employees. So before I send you to the breakout rooms, we are going to discuss these questions based on the video that we just watched. First of all, what do you think about the video? Did you like it?
It's true. Maybe we millennials learned to be impatient, and important thing in the life required patience. So we have problem, and even when we have, or we believe have a lot of things, that things doesn't feel as full as
Okay.
a little.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Daniela. So in general aspects, what do you think of the video?
I mean, the video was pretty interesting
It
because
was.
he said a lot of the things that this millennials generation are facing nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, because we are always exposed to technology, and he was talking about this addiction that we have with devices.
Yeah, that we
in
have.
constant needing. Yeah, we are always constantly checking our cell phones, or maybe we are in a meeting, we are always checking messages instead of paying attention to what our colleagues or the people are talking about.
Mm,
So that's when he says that we're making a mistake. Because
yeah.
maybe as I am part of the maybe millennial generation, we were raised with this kind of thought that we have to be granted for everything. Like we have to be expected to achieve everything or have the control on the things, on many things in our life. And that's when he says that that's why we are always suffering for self-esteem and depression because people are always faking their lives on the social media and they are always showing off that they are thriving when they are not, when
Yeah.
they are suffering.
And
So
then
it
and
was,
then that's true. I mean, he mentioned something
yes,
about being addicts to our phones, even though we don't think
yeah.
we are. Like we are. Because he says that we feel great when we receive a notification, or for example when we post a picture and we're like always like, okay, how many
Yeah,
likes
that
did I get?
excitement is the dopamine
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that we
yeah.
But
constantly
never is
receive from the
enough.
apps.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, how many likes did I get? Oh, I only got like 30 likes. Oh my goodness. Like, what's wrong with the picture? Maybe the picture isn't that cute, or maybe this is not that interesting, or I mean, I'm not saying that all of us, but there is it's a lot, like a lot of people from this generation. We try to show everything from our lives using social media. There is no private life at all, because you can see that people always post like everything they're eating, everything they're doing, like everything that they do in their daily lives. And that's and then there is a need of approval, from the
Yeah,
society. Yeah,
this
there
new
is this
generation
need.
is always
Yes.
looking for approbation.
Yes, and then the
And that's when it becomes
followers.
a problem,
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
And that was Prince's, like, it really caught my attention when he was talking about instant gratification. Because maybe this new generation has been raised to be praised for everything that they
Yeah.
work for. Um,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know, like they think that because maybe they are doing what they are supposed to do at work, they have to be promoted,
Uh-huh.
even for a simple task.
Yes.
That's when the video was really funny, the previous one that we watched. That it
Yeah, yeah,
was,
the first
I
one.
mean, it was
Uh-huh.
exaggerated, but it was telling a lot of truths
Yeah,
about the
there is a
many
lot
truths
of,
that we are
yeah.
facing.
Yes, yes, that's for sure. What about deep meaning relationships? What did he say about relationships?
Like long-term relationship, like friendships
Yeah,
and
in
those
general.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like
you
millennials
say,
are not able to maybe to
To
have
focus
like
on the
meaningful relationships.
conversation.
Mhm. And maybe relationships now are based also on like social media, and then there are arguments for like everything. He mentioned something like that. He mentioned
He
something
gave an
like,
example that people nowadays use this kind of apps that where you can
oh
swipe
yes,
up
yes,
a
yes, yes.
match and then
And
yeah,
match,
you have like a
and
date,
yes,
a
and then
date,
he said that millennials, they didn't have to learn how to, have a conversation or learn how to do it.
socialize with
Yeah,
others.
because
Yeah.
it's like it's so easy to just like swipe up or left if you like the person or not, and then you start like talking to the other phone, or even if you are on a meeting with some friends, and then you are at a restaurant, but then there is a person that is not present, that is not there, but still you're like texting to that person. And then he also mentioned about like having our phones in every single meeting, taking pictures of the meals that we are eating, or texting or sending pictures of who we are with. So that's part of the relationships that we have nowadays, or that we face nowadays. So he said that was very I mean, interesting, but not in a good way, of course. Good. What about a sense of impatience and job satisfaction? They're related somehow. What do you say about this?
We don't build or work harder in the things, and a lot of things, important things require time. So for that, we didn't build a stronger goals in our life. So for that, even if we have a job, in 1 month, I want to create a transformation, but in 1 month, we can't. We have to be constant and patient.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that he said, that millennials want to create impact or have an impact on everything they do. And then he said,
But
like,
in a short time.
yeah, in a short
That's the
time.
problem.
He said that he gave an example, and he said that okay, so a person that has been working for a certain company says, okay, I'm going to quit because I haven't created the impact that I wanted to create. And then he said, like, come on, you have been working here for
8
8 months.
months. Yeah.
So it's like, what do you mean? Like, what impact do you want to create in like such a short period of time? So yeah, that is a sense of impatience and job satisfaction. So they're like, okay, no, I'm going to quit. This is not what I expected. In terms of jobs. Okay. What about the last three? Being watching, corporate environment, and no phones in the meeting room.
Binge watching is basically there for some reason someone starts to a series of TV program, and for some reason decides to see the end before all the
Yeah.
series. I don't know why. I
Just to
mean,
watch
if
the
after
end and then
the second chapter you're not convinced, you don't need to see the final one to see, oh my god,
yeah.
how a great end or a bad end. You only need like 2 chapters to know if that series or program likes you.
It's like time,
Uh,
like worth
That's
watching.
happening right now with the platforms like Netflix, HBO, that you can watch the whole season in 1 day.
Just one day, yes. You don't have
yeah,
Like
to
but
you don't
before,
have
you
to
have to
wait
wait every week
every week
for one
until they
episode.
release. Yes, until they release
Yeah.
an
yeah, I mean,
episode.
it's released, but then the fact that is released, that doesn't mean you have to see it all the series in 1 day. I mean, with long series like Friends that have like 12 seasons, that I like, I don't
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
few
yeah, yeah.
weeks in lifetime. You don't have to see it all at once.
Yeah.
In one season is around 10 chapter. I mean, 10 hours seeing something, just something is a little boring.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, okay, very good. And the last one, no phones in the meeting. What did he say about this?
It's necessary that we connecting with other people in a meeting and pay attention in the conversation to create real relationships.
Real
Not only
relationships,
to
not only
answer,
through their phones. Yeah.
exactly, not only to answer, or only to take a picture at the end of the food. It's us, it's talk.
Okay. Yeah.
The
So
other.
he also said, like, if you are going to a meeting and then you wait until the meeting starts, you see that everyone is on their phones. Actually, like, everyone is on their phones. They're not like talking
They are
to
not
the
fully present
colleague.
in the
Yeah, they're
meeting.
not fully present. And then even though I have someone next to me, I don't get to ask him or her, like, hey, how's everything? How is your family? How is everybody going or doing? What's going on, that kind of things. Like, we don't communicate even with our coworkers because we never get the chance or the opportunity to have a communication, a real communication with someone else. We're always focusing on our phones, So he said that even like with our friends, we are always with our phones or in our phones, even though we're sitting in the same table, we always have our phones like right next to us. And this is true. And he says like even like you can't show a person how important that person is to you because you're always on the phone. And then that somehow it shows the other person that they are not that important to you because you're not paying attention to them. You're always paying attention to your phone. So he said that no phones in any meeting should be allowed because in order to have like a real communication with someone else, with some people. Alrighty, people. So we're going to continue. Let me here. Okay. So you guys are going to work on exercise number 4. Um, in exercise number 4, there are 5 questions and that I want you to discuss in groups. And in what aspects are millennials tough to manage? What do you think about this? Would you agree that the issue of millennials is caused by poor parenting strategy? What do you think about this? Who is responsible for millennials feeling confused, unhappy, and entitled? Can we blame social media for the incapacity to form deep meaning relationships? How addictive is social media? What are the side effects of such an addiction? Then, when you finish discussing these questions, you are going to exercise number 5. In exercise number 5, it will ask you to read the text, and it says, how do millennials will change corporations when they start holding managerial positions? Will this be a positive or negative phenomenon? You're going to read the article and you are going to ignore the gaps for now. Okay, so these gaps, you're going to ignore them. Then once you read the text, you are going to answer this question, right? You are going to answer the question. Once you have answered the question, you are going to do exercise number 6. That is, use the words in the box to complete the gaps in the text together as a group. And then you can check the answers here, but do not go to this website just yet, okay? Just ignore this part. I'm going to be visiting the groups. I am going to provide you feedback, or I'm going to be helping you in case you guys need some help. I'm going to create 3 sessions, 3 groups, and then one person can share a screen if you think it's easier. However, each of you has your own document. Okay, so in each of the sessions there will be 5 to 6 people. Okay, and then I'm going to visit them in case you need help or assistance. Is everything clear?
Yes, teacher, it is.
Yeah. Okay, is everything clear for everyone?
Yes, it is clear.
Okay, so now I'm going to create a groups. Mhm. Hold on. I'm going to change the groups a little bit. Hold on. All right, please join.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, Angelica. Do you have a word group?
Yes.
Do you remember which one was your group?
No, teacher, sorry.
Do you remember your classmates or any, like, maybe like Ana Maria, John, Joely, Natalie? Was that your group?
Yeah, yes, I remember Anna.
And Anna. Yeah, so that was group number 3. So I sent you the invitation.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
Hello, teacher again. Me.
Hello, Angelica.
But teacher, you can give me a favor, please?
Yeah, of course.
You can change the group because anyone participated in.
No one is participating?
No, and Anna don't have a micro, or they have their mic, it's damaged, so he can't.
Okay. So, and then no one else is working on that group. Is that right?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to, oh, thank you for letting me know. I'm going to send you to one of the groups and then I'm going to visit that other one.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
Teacher, and only it's the activity number 6, yes?
And 5, 5, and 6. It's
5.
Yeah. 5, well, no, 4, 5, and 6. It is 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm going to send you to that number 1, and then I'm going to visit the other group. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hi guys, so what's going on in this group? Ana Maria, John, Natalie, what's going on? Guys, are you working on the task that I asked you to? Natalie, John, can you hear me? Okay, I guess you're not in the session, so I'm Natalie. Okay. John. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to Ana Maria, I'm going to send you to another group, okay? So that you can participate in the other group.
That's true.
But of course, the guilty is of each one, because no is a rise of between you and me, it's between me. Compare with my 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 background.
Yes, Daniela. Well, the second one.
Can we
The
blame
next one.
social media for the incapability to form deep meaning relationship? I believe that no, because social media no doesn't have life. We manage, or we should manage, social
Yes.
media and be able to manage them.
I think I
Facebook and all those things, 7 or 8 years, maybe they're having that problem. But I don't know that people at my age, 28 years, have that problem. Because at
Yes,
that point, so but that point, Facebook started being something real for all the world in some point in 2011 or 2012. At that
yes,
point, we have 16 or 17 years old. At that point, you should have at least one friend.
yes. At the beginning, it's like a a platform where when you can play or share same things you are interest on with your friends. That's why I
Yes,
used
the
I
beginning was
create
that.
my Facebook in the first time for playing
I don't know. I never had one, so I don't know
with
exactly
my
what
friends.
how works.
Oh, but I have read uh, like the last year that there is an inconsistency about uh, the quantity of friends that Facebook said you have, but in real life you know
Have
that
anyone.
the amount of people
Mm, That
even
I know
you
that should be
didn't
accounts like
know
you have
in real life.
2,000
So
friends, something like that. So
that's the problem. Yes,
Yeah,
that's the
like
problem.
you
That
have
in your mind,
yeah, even
or in your real life, you have that uh, a close or a group of friends, but
yeah, listen,
on internet, the Facebook said of you have that amount of
yeah, but
friends,
I mean, by
but
some
that's
point
not
at
the truth. Yes.
2014, there was a kind of like you have 5,000 friends. Okay, let's say that
Hello, Anna. Do you remember your group? Group number 2. Okay, I'm going to send you the invitation. Go ahead.
to the workplace. Chip Espinosa, Chip is a name. Chip Espinosa had studied millennials in the workplace, the author of the recent book Millennials, who managed on the book 2010 book managing. The millennial says this generation of major will take a step further in creating a people-first workplace. A different way to make
Millennials model concepts of self-awareness, self-regulation, and relationship building will be key to millennial managed workplaces. Millennials are highly relational, says Espinosa. You may hear the old generation of managers say, I don't want to be friends with anyone who works for me because one day I might have to fire them. Espinosa says millennial managers will never take that attitude. This generation of managers will put people and relationships first. The blend of work and life for this relationship-oriented millennial managers also means that the relationships they have at work won't just be considered work relationships, but are likely to beyond working hours.
Okay, thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Someone else want to read the next one?
Empowering employees.
Yes, it only needs the phone.
Okay. Millennials are said to be empowering managers that support employees in moving forward in their careers. Millennials are good listeners, and as managers, will blank out ideas from employees. Millennials are problem solvers. They want to improve things, not just pretend processes and keep things the same as we've been doing
Hello guys. So I was visiting the groups and I was very happy with the active participation of all of you. Did you finish the task, every single exercise that I asked you to? Do you have enough time?
We were doing the last one.
You
Yes,
were
teacher.
Fill the gaps.
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
We were
okay.
in the last
You were
exercise.
in the last exercise. Okay. And then were you about to finish with the words or not? I mean, or like in the middle or just starting or all the
For
in
the
the
middle, yes, for the
middle of it?
first two paragraphs.
And the first two paragraphs. Okay. Well, people, time's up. Okay. So time's up and we're going to stop here. Tomorrow I can give you more minutes in case you guys need to finish, or you can just work by yourselves on the task, and then tomorrow we'll check it together. I think that's the best thing to do. I would think that that's the best option, that you work individually on this exercise, on the last one, and then tomorrow we take 10 minutes to discuss it and to check our answers, and of course continue with the rest of the topics that we are going to have for tomorrow. Okay, so but so far it's we have worked on our class and we are going to stop right now, okay, because time's up. So thank you very much for your hard work. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye guys, good night, take care.
Bye-bye, teacher. Have a good night.
Bye, teacher.